welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a video that focuses on teaching your toddler how to wash their hands and sort of encouraging the process, because if you have a toddler at home, as I do, you'll know just how difficult it is to try and get them to wash their hands. It's something that they don't want to do. And I recently found out that diarrhea is the second leading cause of death in children under the age of 5. And that the simple act of washing your hands can halve those incidences of death. So I think it's something that's really, really important. I think it's vital that we teach our kids to wash their hands after they've petted the animals, after they've played outside, after they've gone to the toilet, before they eat, just to ensure that none of those nasty germs are sort of getting into their system. So when Dettol contacted me to be a part of their campaign for Global Handwashing Day, which is happening on the 15th of October, I immediately agreed to take part because it's something that I've really been trying to get Bean to do. I've been trying to encourage him to wash his hands. I've been trying to teach him the sort of proper way to wash your hands, and it's a tough one. Little boys that are almost 4 years old do not want to wash their hands. They don't want to. So I've taken it upon myself to sort of use this experiment to come up with little tips and little tricks and like little challenges for Bean to help encourage him to wash his hands. So today I'm going to be sharing some of those little tips and tricks that I've been putting into place over the past week. And I will also be continuing with this campaign throughout the month of October. So if you check back onto my Facebook page, which I will link below, check back every week. I'll be having new little challenges that you can do with your kiddies, little tips that I've learned along the way, as well as our progress so that you can follow along. So to begin with, I took Beanie to the shops and I got him to pick out his own soap. And I think this is really important, particularly with toddlers and sort of younger children, as it gives them a sense of ownership and they get really excited about something as simple as a soap. So he could sniff all of the soaps and he could touch and feel, and I let him choose whatever soap he wanted, whether it was a bar soap or a liquid hand wash. He had full say in it. And I've also hung up his favorite little Spider-Man towel in the bathroom so he can dry his hands. And I've pushed his old potty that we used when he was potty training closer to the sink. So it's one of those that closes, so he can stand on it and he can reach the taps a little bit easier. So that was the first step, and it was something quite fun that we did together, and I made it like a whole big thing, and we went for like coffee afterwards, and I got us a couple of hand wipes. I got us a whole bunch of hand wipes. They're here somewhere. Let's see, where did I put them? Where did I put them? So these are the little hand wipes I picked up. So these are Dettol's original personal care wipes, and there are 10 in a pack, and they cost about 12-13 rand for a little pack. So I just bought a whole bunch of them, and I popped a little pouch in my handbag. I popped a pouch in the cubby hole in our car. I popped a little pouch in his school bag. So we've always got these on the go, and they're so handy for when you're out and about and you're at the shops and you're about to stop for a bite to eat, but you're not sure what germs are lurking on your hands. Something else that I've done is I have added hand washing to his little reward chart. So we have a reward chart that we use, and it contains things like washing his hair because he hates to wash his hair, listening to mom, feeding the dog, little chores, and he gets little stars for them. At the end of every week he has a goal, so he needs to reach, let's say, 50 stars per week. There are quite a few things, so 50 stars is not that difficult to reach. And then he gets a little bit of pocket money that he can put towards buying some new Lego at the end of the month. So I just added hand washing to that list as well, and every time he washes his hands he gets a star. So that's something I think, especially if your child is quite, if reward charts work on your children, this is a really handy little tip. I know for some kids reward charts don't even care. So if your child is one of those who loves the reward chart thing, then I think this is a great way to get them to wash their hands. Another thing that I did is I actually went into YouTube and I googled teaching a child how to wash their hands, and there are so many adorable little clips and songs and things on YouTube. So I've been watching those with Beanie to try and encourage him, and I think what I'm going to do for this coming week's little task or little challenge is to actually learn one of the songs off by heart, and then we'll sing that little song while he's washing his hands. And I'm going to look for something that is actually 60 seconds or longer, because you should ideally be washing your hands for 60 seconds every time, which is something that I personally didn't even know. So it's something that I'm really trying to make an effort to do. So at the moment I'm putting the little timer on my phone on when Beanie washes his hands so that we can make sure that we are washing our hands for 60 seconds. But I think I'm going to look for a little song that is proper length, and we will learn how to sing that and sing that while we are washing our hands. So I think that just adds like a little bit of a fun element to it. Then I've also gone to the trouble of explaining to Beanie and showing him exactly how he should be washing his hands. So Dettol actually sent me a whole bunch of really interesting infographics and a little table, like a little graphic that shows you how you're supposed to be washing your hands, and it's like rubbing your palms together and then washing your thumb and rubbing between each finger, rubbing your nails against the palm of your hand, all sorts of things like that. Even things that I personally don't do when I wash my hands. So I've taken Beanie through all of the steps. I've shown him the little documents or the little graphic. If you're interested, it is on my blog, so I'll link that below, so you can just go have a look at that if you're interested in how you should be washing your hands, or how to teach your children how to wash their hands. And yeah, so I took him through each little step, so we make sure that when we are counting down our 60 seconds that we go through each and every step. And I think that's really, really helped, you know. It's also quite nice for him to remind me. I'll pretend to forget one of the steps and then he'll tell me, oh, we've got to do this bit. So I think it's just sort of, at this age, Beanie is now, he's almost 4, and I think it's just this age where now suddenly he is realizing that he is independent and he's trying to exercise that independence. And I think that one thing that I've learned over the past week in trying to teach him to wash his hands is that playing on that aspect, on him wanting his own independence, really, really helps. So sometimes I don't even go with him when he washes his hands. I'll just remind him, like after he's petted the cat or something, and I'll say to him, oh, you need to go wash your hands. And then I leave him and he goes, you know, and I'll sort of like hover in the background and make sure the taps are closed and whatnot. But I sort of leave it up to him now. So now it's at the point where when he's played outside, when he comes inside and he wants a snack, and he goes, oh, I have to wash my hands. So I think really like use your child's own little quirks and like stubbornness and will for independence to your advantage when teaching them little habits. Yeah, I think that is about it for now. Those are my top tips for starting along this process of teaching your child how to wash their hands. Keep an eye out on my Facebook page for the next couple of weeks, because I will be sharing further tips and little challenges that you can do with your children as well over on there. If you're not watching this from my blog, I'll leave the link to my blog post down below. You can head on over to the blog post to see really interesting infographics with stats from Dettol, all about diarrhea and washing hands, and how the simple small act of washing your hands has a huge impact on the health of your child. I mean, it really is a big thing. I think as a mom, you know, obviously when my child is sick it's a concern, but then something like diarrhea never really, I don't take it as seriously as I should, I think. And I think just the fact that there's one child that one child dies every single minute thanks to diarrhea, and something as simple as washing your hands could help and could have prevented that death. You know, when you sort of see these stats and you start to realize that actually it's quite serious, and washing your hands it's so important. It seems like such a small thing. I don't know if I'm alone in this, but I mean, I've even found during doing this challenge, I found that I personally don't wash my hands nearly as often as I should. There are some days that like literally I'll touch my cat and then I'll go and I'll get a snack, and I should really be washing hands, because as much as I love my cat, he's outdoors all the time, so who knows where he's going, what germs he's picking up. I can easily get sick. But I'm an adult, so my system is a little bit more, it's a little stronger, you know, a whole lot stronger than a child's, and especially a baby. So I think it's vital. It's so important to teach your children to wash their hands, especially under the age of 5, and just to sort of enforce that habit and make sure that they're following up with this. So yes, head on over to the blog post for some more information if you are interested. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do if you feel that way inclined. It is free, and all it means is that every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. So it means that you won't miss any of my videos going forward. So if you've enjoyed this, it's a good idea. I'll be making a whole lot more videos in future, so subscribe and stay in touch. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.